What is up, you guys? It is your boy Brenton Biggers here, and welcome back to another video. In today's video, we are going to be talking about a team that I feel like is well deserved to be talked about, and that will be the Seattle Seahawks and what they deserve. And like, it's kind of been an interesting off season. I know I have made one of these videos before, but it's quite interesting to see what they are going to be doing, because again, last time I made one of these videos, I made about Seattle and what they should be doing during the off season and stuff like that. But this year has been really interesting in free agents. They gone and got players like Devin Bush, Draymond Jones, Julian Love. Those are very good players to fix the defense, which was indeed necessary because we needed some fix on this defense. This defense, just in my opinion, wasn't really that good. In my opinion, like, it was relatively bad, you could say. But then they also again re-signed Bobby Wagner, and it was really nice to see Bobby Wagner back on the team. Guy who actually has experience in playoff games, which I thought was the more key factor of having him on the team, rather than just have one of the best linebackers in the league and also a death piece at linebacker. It's more than just that. It's just the fact that he has experience in playoff games, and he doesn't have to get carried, and he doesn't have to carry the team anymore. He just doesn't, which is nice, because like, now he doesn't have to actually carry the team like he usually has to, which is very upsetting. But it was nice to see Bobby Wagner again back on the team and stuff, but there were some unfortunate matters that did happen during the offseason, and Ryan Neal and Rashawn Penny both being gone. I don't know what happened with Ryan Neal. I don't know where he is currently. I think he might actually still be a free agent, I think, but he's available and he's not on Seattle right now, so that's just something to mention. But I feel like the Seahawks did a really good job in the free agency department, getting big time players and getting them on contracts that make sense for the team, which I think was nice to see. But then you got they still have a lot of holes on the roster though. Like, it seems like though that Seattle didn't want to sign maybe Ryan Neal because like they wanted to get like a cheaper option in Julian Love, or they wanted to go with Jamal Adams, or both, or just I don't know. Really, I don't know what they were doing, but they have a need at corner. I still think they have a need at corner. I would like that they would have addressed it in free agency, but instead they decided to address it in the off season. Instead of the draft, because like they already have enough young talent at corner. They still have to address the defensive line. They still don't have a true big time pass rusher, and I really wish they could go and get him or something like that. Like, go get a player like maybe Yannick Ngakoue or DeForest Buckler or something like that, you know? Because they really need to get someone on defense that can get to the quarterback. No offense to Draymond Jones, but like, he's gonna just more likely just be a run stopper, and also more of just a player to play at nose tackle. And I don't know if we're gonna be switching the scheme to 3-4, because he is in a 3-4 scheme, so I really wonder what we're gonna do with that. But this is my opinion. But I do think that we still have the need, obviously, at interior offensive line. It is still a need on this team to fix the interior, especially center, because Austin Bryant has retired. So they still have some needs in the interior. They also need a wide receiver number 3. I think that's pretty obvious to say the least. You need it, and then the last need is getting a backup running back. Now, obviously, I don't think it's a position of need. Like, it's probably like the position of need that is like the second worriness, which is the first would be the wide receiver position 3, because like we already have Tyler Lockett, DK Metcalf, so yeah, but those are just the positions of need still on the roster. So I really wonder what they're gonna do with that. But in the draft, I think with the number 5 pick, they are still going to go for a pass rusher. Because, like, obviously I know that Will Anderson would probably not be available unless they trade down for a QB needy team. That's it. Like, I don't see Will Anderson being on board at number 5, but I mean, it could be possible, but I don't see that happening. So, yeah. Because, like, here's what I think is going to happen. The Panthers go take C.J. Stroud or Bryce Young, and then Houston takes C.J. Stroud or Bryce Young. Then Arizona go gets Williams Jr., and Colts go get, like, Anthony Richardson and Levis. But with the 5 pick, they could go with a couple of directions, in my opinion. One is trading down, which I don't really see them happening because, like, they don't need more draft capital. I saw TPS, like, wanted Seattle to trade down and only get a 3rd-round pick back, and I'm like, a 3rd-round pick? Really? And I'm like, you're joking yourself. I know, like, they are arbitrarily good in the later rounds, but it's still just something I didn't want to see. And then you also have drafting Anthony Richardson, which I wouldn't complain because, like, he has such a high ceiling as a athletic freak and 6'4". Like, he is, like, a boom or bust prospect, but, like, his boom is going to be huge. And he might end up being one of the best quarterbacks in the league. That's kind of just my opinion. That's, like, his ceiling. His ceiling is limited. It's unlimited. It's unlimited. But, like, his worst is not being a franchise QB. But the chances of that, to me, is probably very low for him. And that's just my opinion. And then you also got drafting Jalen Carter, which I think is a arbitrarily interesting case. And I think it kind of depends all on Seattle. Like, do they want to deal with a guy with anger issues and stuff? That's, like, my personal question. But to me, like, I would like to have Jalen Carter, but if he just does not, like, do the freakish things. But, like, obviously, I don't think he is my number 1 target in the draft. It would be Will Anderson, but if he's not available, I would like to go with Miles Murphy. I just feel like we need a pass rusher, and I would totally love to him on the roster. One other player that I would like to see, which they don't have to get consistently in the 1st round, and that would be Brenton Cox Jr. And if you wonder who he is, I was looking at his tape, and I'm like, how is this guy not getting the treatment of he deserves? To me, like, he looked like a beast edge rusher. And yeah, sure, he might be more of a 3-4 player than as a 4-3, but this team is kind of built more as a 3-4 than a 4-3 anyway. But if he is a 4-3 pass rusher, who cares? But he is a very good player. And honestly, not gonna lie with you, he really looks like a really good prospect. To me, he's giving me, like, a really good feeling of him being a really good prospect. And I'll be shocked if he's not being taken in day 2. And day 1, I don't think he will be taken. But in day 2, if he's not taken, I'll be pretty shocked. Because, like, he looks like a very, very good prospect. And I just have a feeling that, like, whoever gets him can really have a steal in their hands. He might not be in day one, but he definitely could be a very good steal in the later rounds. And that's just why, in my opinion, I think it makes sense that you go get him, in my opinion. But then you got the 20th pick, and this is a spot that is relatively interesting. Now, for me, with my mock drafts, which, by the way, I will for sure be making mock drafts. I might even decide to make one tomorrow, in my opinion, but I will be doing a mock draft very soon, and I will tell you that as the facts. But, yeah, but anyway, back to the point. The 20th pick is a very interesting pick. Because at the one hand, you could go with the receiver 3 and go get, like, play like Jackson Smith-Jigba, Quentin Johnson. But to me, I don't want to see getting a number 3 receiver in the first round. Kind of just because it's not the biggest need on the roster. The biggest need will be fixing this defense. Which is why I just don't want them to pick them. But with me, I would like to see Cam Smith with this pick. Now, he's like a Tariq Woolen and Richard Sherman. Because he's super athletic. He is super big, and it just makes sense to go draft him. He is a Pete Carroll type of corner. He's big, and he's fast. Like, that's a Pete Carroll corner if I ever seen one. But obviously, I don't see them drafting maybe another corner because they already gotten 2 solid corners at least with Tariq Woolen and Kobe Bryant. But just a recommendation. But with the second round pick that they got from Denver, I feel like would be a pick I would consider going to get a receiver. It's because, like, at the one hand, it's not like the biggest need on the roster, like I said, but when you got, like, your corner or wide receiver position filled, and then your D-line position filled, then they could start actually putting depth at the receiver position. But also one other thing that they should be doing, again, like I said, is fixing the backup running back issue. I see them, again, drafting a first-round running back or even the second round. But maybe 3rd to 5th round, try to go get a running back there and stuff like that. But one interesting quality I feel like is maybe something interesting is going to draft a quarterback with your later round pick. Now, obviously, if they do get Anthony Richardson, this could be a whole nother story, but kind of do like a Bill Belichick type of thing. Draft a quarterback with one of your later round picks. Kind of like throw like a Tom Brady in there, like something like that. Just something to keep in mind. Because, like, look at the Patriots. Or even the Dolphins even. Like, look at them. They both drafted later round pick guys who can turn out to really end up starting quarterbacks. Bailey Zappi does have a small specimen, but, like, he looked to be a really good quarterback, despite with Matt Patricia and Joe Judge as their offensive coordinators. And then you also got Skylar Thompson, which barely lost against the Bills. So, yeah. I could say that, like, maybe drafting a later round quarterback isn't the end of the world. And plus, you're just wasting a late round pick. Nothing to worry about. And obviously, I am a little salty with not drafting a quarterback in the later round last year because, like I would love to have like a Malik Willis or Sam Howell, but obviously I'm not complaining because they not really turned out to be good prospects anyway. But you kind of get what I mean. But anyway, I will be ending the video there. Hope you enjoy. Peace.